Welcome to Gary's Garage. Today we're going to do an oil change on my 2016 Kia Forte, and yeah, we'll get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to lift up the car and remove the splash guard from underneath. So the first step to taking off the splash guard is going to be removing the plastic clips that hold this in place. So to do that, we'll use a Phillips screwdriver to loosen up the fastener there, and we'll put a little bit of pressure, turn gently, and as it backs out, we should be able to start wiggling it out of there. And it should come right out just like that. Here we go. This one here. So next step after taking out the plastic clips is going to be removing the 10 millimeter bolts. So we'll do that with the drill here.
Oops.
Shooting don't shoot, right?
Do the back ones.
She's on something.
Ah. Probably another one on the other side? No, that's the one that's broken.
I think that's the one that's broken.
Okay. Got her?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Somebody get me a bucket.
Okay, so the next step that we've got is to remove the drain plug here with a 7 millimeter wrench.
17?
17 millimeter wrench, you're right.
Oops.
I'm not a professional. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
If it's tight, use the box then.
This way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Just a second, we can switch sides.
Yeah.
Because you can always pull more.
Pull is easier.
You get more force pulling. And switch. Here we go. Somebody get me a bucket. There we go. Let it drain.
Okay, so now that the oil has finished draining, we're just going to clean up the area here from any leftovers. Give that a little bit of a wipe off. And we will install the drain plug here.
With a new...
With a new washer on it. Make sure there's a new crush washer on there. So get that on there. And then we will torque it with 28 foot-pounds of pressure, which is the factory spec. Does this click?
No.
Does it just stop?
You got to look at the gauge. Remember where we were going to? Mm-hmm. Looks like we're there.
We're already there. Perfect. And that's that. And so the next step now is going to be taking off the old oil filter and changing it out for a new one. Alright, so we'll just have to loosen up the oil filter here. Sometimes it'll go by hand, other times it won't, so I'll give it a try. The idea is just to kind of crack that seal. Oil is going to run out, so we'll just kind of let it drip after that. Let's see if I can get it. I cannot, so because I can't, I'll use an oil filter wrench here to kind of give me a hand. So get that snugged on there. Go. And just loosen enough so I can use my hands for the rest of the way there. There we go. Alright, so we'll just let that drip and then we'll go from there. Alright, so you can see that the oil has stopped dripping, so we'll go ahead and remove the filter. So that should be relatively easy to unscrew. There it is. So we've got a little bit of residual oil. We'll just tip that out into the oil bucket there. Let it drip a little bit. And then we'll put the old filter into a separate container where we will make sure we go and recycle it. So we'll drop that into the recycling bucket. And then after that, we'll just take a look up here. We want to clean this area with a lint-free cloth. Shop towel works great, but nothing paper. So we'll go ahead and we'll wipe away any residual oil that's left over and make sure that is nice and clean before we put the new filter on. Just like that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to talk a little bit about the oil we've got here. So we're using a full synthetic 5W20, which has always worked really well in my car. And we're going to prep the new oil filter. So we're going to take some of this oil and fill this about 3/4 of the way up, half to 3/4, just so that the engine isn't running dry for too long. And then we're also going to prep that gasket around the edge there. So what I'll do is I'll just pour a little bit of this oil into the center here, not too full, but the idea is to eliminate the air space that's in there. So a little bit more there. Good. And then I've spilt a little bit here, so I'll just take my finger. I need a little bit more than that. And what that's going to do, priming this gasket, is going to allow a better seal when I hand tighten this filter on. So better seal, the better off I am. Alright, so to put the oil filter on, we're just going to hand tighten it on. You can be firm with it, but you don't want to wrench it onto there. So go ahead and get that started. Tension, and then just there should be good. And there we go. Okay, so the next step here, we're going to put the new oil into the engine. So I'll take this guy off here. The funnel. And this engine is going to take about 4 liters here, so I'll just go ahead and pour that in.
Which is about how many quarts?
It's about 4 1/4 US quarts. And now we'll just check the level of the engine oil here. So check that dipstick. Bring that out. It does look like it's a little high, but we just haven't run the engine yet. So we'll run the engine and see where we're sitting at after that. So just as a reminder, don't forget to put your cap back on before you run your engine. So.
Otherwise you have a big vacuum leak.
Yeah, it'll be a bad time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So once you start your car, you're going to want to watch for your oil light. If it turns off immediately, you're good to go, and you'll just want to rev the engine a little bit to kind of get things flowing. So we'll give that a little... More? Okay. So we've run the engine, and we're just going to double check the oil level here. And that looks pretty good.
Clean it off, we'll do it again. Turn it. Yeah, there we go. Good.
Looks good to me. So we've lifted up the car again just to double check for leaks. So we'll do a little bit of an inspection around the filter here. Make sure that there's no drips. Looks good to me. And then we'll also check the plug here. Make sure that there's no drips there. So
you might want to give that a
I'll
wipe.
give that a little bit of a clean up here.
Yeah, so yeah, that's probably from before, but we should just
Double check.
just leave it a little while, and if a drip comes back, you know, if we see any wetness, then we'll have to check
it
again. But I think it's going to be okay. I think we're good.
I think it looks good.
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go. Last thing to do.
Let's put the cover back on.
There we go.
Very good. So it never hurts to start these bolts by hand to replace the splash guard, just so that you don't cross-thread the bolts themselves. So starting by hand is never a bad thing. That's like way out of skew.
Yeah, well, that's fixed.
So next step after the bolts is to put the plastic clips back in. And so the idea for these guys here is just so that we can squish those wings in to get it into the spot that we need it to go into there. So once that's nice and flush, I'll take the screwdriver, and you heard that click. That's in where it needs to go now.
Well, that concludes another series in Gary's Garage, and I want to thank you for joining. This is Tori's first time on the channel. Hope she'll come back and help every once in a while. And if you've got any comments or questions, don't forget to post, and
don't forget to like and subscribe if you're a fan of this content, and feel free to share the video so that more people can take a look at it. Thanks so much for watching, guys.